Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about this new news that we have about Stephen A. Smith, as well as other celebrity figures in the United States when it comes to running for president in 2024. Now, this is an interesting development when it comes to Stephen A. Smith. Of course, if you don't know, he's on ESPN. He is a sports commentator. Most people know him, high name recognition. He's been around for a while now on TV, again, very well known across the nation. He is apparently extremely interested in running for president in 2028 as a Democrat. He has now made numerous comments on his podcast, on his show. He does an episode every day, and every day it becomes more likely that he runs for president. He said, I wouldn't mind being in office. He said, I would love to be president if I didn't have to campaign. That seems to be the only downside for him. He said that he would love to be on the debate stage with all the other Democrats like Newsom, Shapiro, Harris, etc., to express his ideas. But Stephen A. Smith is just a very common sense kind of guy. I think he would be extremely successful in a general election, especially. It's hard to tell with people like, celebrity figures like someone like Stephen A. Smith. But ultimately, I don't know, maybe it's too far to tell. Too far out to tell, but I do think he would be extremely successful in a general election. A primary is too hard to tell because we don't know how many candidates will run, and whose vote share he would split with and all that. But Stephen A. Smith, point being, likely to run for president. I mean, when someone is so, vocal about being interested in it, it almost makes it certain that they're going to run. As of right now, we'll see if this changes for reasons that come up. But if nothing changes, it looks like Stephen A. Smith will run for president. You can see here on the Wikipedia page, you've got all these candidates, all these potential Democratic candidates, everyone from J.B. Pritzker to Gina Raimondo, who's on there for some reason, to Tim Walz, to Kamala Harris, all the way to Rahm Emanuel, and Andy Bashir, Chris Murphy, etc. Even AOC makes the list. And then you see at the very top of the list the people who have expressed interest. Stephen A. Smith. He would certainly stand out from the field, and he already is. Already, what? 20 days, 30 days into the Trump administration, and already we have Stephen A. Smith going out there multiple times now saying that he's very interested in running for president. And it does seem very ego driven by Stephen A. Smith, to be completely honest. Personally, my completely personal views on him, not related to how well he would do, seems very personal. Seems very personally, personally ambitious, ego driven. I don't think that Stephen A. Smith would be a good president. I would certainly not support him, but I'm not everybody, and that is clear. There is a Twitter page. I'll share the screen here. There is a Twitter page, Stephen A. Smith for president in 2028. It has 26,000 followers, which isn't insane, but the time frame in which these followers were gained is truly stunning. If I remember correctly, I was here from the very beginning following this account. And he gained something like 10,000 followers in like 24 hours. I saw in they wrote about this actual account in an Atlantic article. The Atlantic, someone wrote a commentary piece saying Stephen A. Smith for president, and they brought up how this account, oh, here it is. Here's a screenshot right here. One account titled Stephen A. Smith 2028 picked up over 10,000 followers overnight last week, and now is over 24,000 followers, blah, blah, blah. So clearly, people are serious about this, and as I said, this is a guy who could build up lots of support, and it makes sense. It makes sense, which we're about to get to, why celebrity figures like this really could be taking over the Democratic Party in 2028. Democrats are, especially after Kamala's loss, I think that Democrats are just done with the traditional Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris types. It really opens the door for someone like Stephen A. Smith to come in and win. And it's not just Stephen A. Smith. This could be someone else. Multiple celebrities could run for president for the Democratic nomination in 2028. Another one of them being Jon Stewart. There is yet another Twitter account promoting Jon Stewart's name. I don't know if it's connected to the Stephen A. Smith one. I don't know if either one was inspired. But look at that, 6,000, almost 7,000 followers. And I was also following this one for quite a while, and this one got 7,000 followers, and then in an extremely short time frame as well. It's been about a week, I think, and this person's posts are getting so many views. Kyle Kalinske pointed him out on his show. So we have multiple draft accounts getting celebrities to draft them to run for president in 2028. So, point being, there is this uprising. There is this movement within the Democratic Party to change its ways. There is clearly action, among regular Democrats, just on social media. These are the most regular Democrats you could get, wanting a change, wanting Jon Stewart, wanting even Stephen A. Smith. Lots of Democrats probably don't even agree with Stephen A. Smith on a whole host of issues, but they need a change in the party. They want to see a change. So when you look at this field of candidates for the Democrats right now, you have so many that are just more of the same. Democrats might favor one or the other. They might favor Josh Shapiro over Kamala Harris. They might favor Raphael Warnock over J.B. Pritzker, but it's all in the same. These people will not differentiate themselves on policy at all. That's for certain. And just the overall message of their presidencies, what they get done during their presidencies, will likely not be much different between these various candidates. So really, what it does is it opens a void, and we have seen this in the past. It opens a void for someone who is actually different, like Stephen A. Smith or Jon Stewart, to come in, gain some momentum, and as an outsider candidate, you know, build that kind of Bernie coalition, but even larger. As not even Bernie was a senator, being not even a politician at all, they could really fill that void, gain even more support than Bernie did in 2016 and 2020, and an even more divided race than 2016 and 2020. They have a true path to victory. And we saw that with Bernie, but we also saw it with 2016. We saw it with Donald Trump, where look at this polling from 2015. This was midway through 2015. Donald Trump had not announced his candidacy yet. This was a poll. Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Marco Rubio in the top three. They are all the same. This was a very divided primary in 2016. You had Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Marco Rubio, Mike Huckabee, etc., Rick Santorum, really all representing the same sort of faction of the GOP. I shouldn't even call it a faction, really. It was just the standard Republican Party. Maybe someone may have come out on top in 2012 when the Republican Party, the point I'm trying to make, though. In 2016, there were, Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Marco Rubio. In the end, they're all the same. And what that does is that it opens up an opportunity for someone else, some outsider, to come in and really just sweep the party, right? Just build this insane momentum, as you can see. In this polling from 2015, Donald Trump was at 1% in 13th place. 13th. He ended up just building this coalition to end up winning. That is what Democrats can do in 2028 with a celebrity figure like Donald Trump, but on the left. I don't know. Maybe Stephen A. Smith isn't on the left, but on the Democratic side, you can have someone like Stephen A. Smith or Jon Stewart come in and win the nomination. Um, that's an entirely real possibility, I believe, in 2028. So thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.